What's going on, YouTube? Feed the Beasters, Twitchers, and everyone out there. JD here for the next episode of JD Plays Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode. And I've got a to-do list. We've had a fantastic Thanksgiving. It is time to get to work. So the first thing I want to talk about in today's episode is some niter. Niter, right here, is one of the key ingredients of making the next item on the to-do list, which is cryothium. And to get niter, you're either going to need to find some nether saltpeter ore or do some bees, blah, blah, blah. It's not always fun and easy to find. But one of the easiest ways that you can get niter is from sandstone. So slabs will actually give you a 25% chance of recovering niter. Blitz rods will give you a 50%. Regular sandstone will give you a 50%, as well as chiseled variants. Okay. Now, if you happen to come across saltpeter ore, that'll also give you just straight up niter. But we can manufacture it. You get 75% chance, by the way, from doing sandstone stairs. I just use regular sandstone and break it down, okay? So 50% chance just from sandstone. So I've gone and I've made some niter. And the reason I wanted to make niter was so that we could get to the point of getting cryothium. Well, cryothium is a key ingredient in a lot of these thermal expansion upgrades. And so right here, to get cryothium, we need to be able to use niter, snowballs, electrotine, or teen, however you say it, and blizz powder. Blizz powder itself, you get from killing blizzes, and you get it from these blizz rods. You can also pulverize the blizz rods to get more, and you'll get some snowballs. But there's another way. Any one of these flashy powders, cryothium, pyrothium, you can manufacture these things, right? And any of these dusts, like the blizz powders, you can also manufacture them. So to get that, you simply take destabilized redstone from a fluid transposer and pour it over a snowball. We know we can make destabilized redstone because we've used that in the past to be able to make signalum. So I've already gone in and made some destabilized redstone, and I've already got some blizz powder made actually right here. Just to give you a heads up, the way you use this stuff is you put the redstone in here, it melts it down, it transfers it from the magma crucible into the fluid transposer. You have your transposer set into the filling mode so that it's going to fill whatever's in this slot, and each quantity of 200 redstone will handle a single snowball. So whatever it says 2800, that means you're going to need 14 snowballs. Take the first two numbers divided by 2 for how many snowballs you need. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up making the rest of these snowballs into blizz powder. Now with what's left in here right now, I've got enough to do some more cryothium. And we're going to go ahead and make that. That's what this stuff is for. I can't click today. I apologize. It's because I ate too much turkey and I'm fat fingering everything. So, snowball, niter, electrotine, and blizz powder, and we get cryothium, okay? Kind of like pyrothium, except for it's cold instead of hot. Now, where that becomes important to us is in the use of slag. Or at least, not just in slag, but for example, if I want this cryoflux amplifier that gives me 8 times the energy produced and 8 times the fuel consumption, I'm going to need cryothium. Same thing, if I want this gyro servo, which is going to give me 81% secondary chance, I'm going to need cryothium. This is what I want, and I want it because this gives me the secondary chance, but I'm going to need rock wool for this. Well, the way you get rock wool is you have to smelt down slag. And slag you get as a byproduct in the induction smelter, and there's a lot of different products that produce it. But one of the best ways to get it, one of the easiest ways to get it, is to simply take cobblestone. 2 cobblestone and 1 sand will produce stone bricks and give you back 100% slag. There are plenty of ways to get it. You're going to produce a lot of it as on the side as you produce other things. So you don't really necessarily need to rush to get it the way I did. I want it right now, so I'm going to go ahead and drop it in here and cook it with it and let that cook up right quick. Okay? And with the rock wool that produces, we're going to step over here. And somewhere in one of these, I've already got, or I had, a diamond chip set. Let me see where that's at right quick. Diamond chip. So I should have one more of these somewhere. I may have stuck it in one of my bags. Let's look. Because I don't think I did both of my upgrades yet. But maybe I did. No, I did. I used both my diamond chip sets. Okay, hold on. We're gonna have to rewind just a minute. I forgot. I actually did end up using all of my diamonds. Not all of my diamonds, but my diamond chip sets. And I may have actually used up all my diamonds as well. I used my diamonds because I went ahead and made, as I'm producing enough power now, I made some of these cryo regulator coils that give 85% base fuel energy. So I'm conserving my fuel a lot more right now while it's still early game and I don't just have fuel rolling around everywhere. I also went ahead and got my rock crusher hooked up so that we could make use of it again. It's back over here kind of out of the way in the corner. So that rock wool, I'm going to need to make a few more diamond chip sets. And let's see, where do I have my diamonds at? I know I still got a couple rolling around. Let's go find them. Here's some diamonds. There's 2. All right, those will work. Let's throw these diamonds in here. And let's grab out, there's some redstone here, right? Yeah. So we'll throw these in here, and we're going to get 2 more diamond chip sets made. Turn that off and make this. Now, while we're waiting on that to get done, we're going to talk about upgrading these thermal expansion machines. Now, right now, I've got 2 of the secondary improvements in here. So, but this one is actually having no effect. There's no point in having this in here because this is not a hardened machine. If you look at the top in Wayla, it says Pulverizer Basic. This, on the other hand, is a hardened machine. And if you'll notice, there's the difference. Look, 3 slots, 4 slots. I've already upgraded this one. Well, how did I do that? Well, if we go into thermal expansion, and I've shown you guys this before, and we look at the induction smelter and we press U to bring up uses, we see that if we use an electrum gear with some Invar ingots, we can upgrade this from a basic to a hardened. Well, there's also the reinforced, which takes, hardened glass and signalum, or the final step, which is resonant, which takes silver and inderium, which frankly, silver, it's so, available. There's so much of it. It's so dense in the game that this is much easier to produce. And inderium gears, we can make those now. We've talked about how to make the inderium alloy in the past. So let's grab this guy for just a second. And we'll want to grab his power connectors. And at the same time, let's go ahead and take this guy as well. Now, one of these devices was hardened and the other was basic. And I've poured some inderium gears back here. And you'll notice that we grab up some of the, the different pieces from it. But I poured some inderium gears right back here with the remaining inderium ingots that I had. And in this crafting table, we're going to put our induction smelter, which I think it just fell into this hopper and fell into this box because that happens a lot. There we go. We're going to slap that bad mamma jamma right in here. And you notice it says hardened in its title. And when we put these in, this is going to make a... Did they change it? Hold on. What am I doing wrong here? So hardened, silver. I wonder if these have been disabled because it's not letting me make it. These are silver. This is inderium. I'm going to have to figure out why that's not working. Let's see if the basic works. That's very odd. I don't know why that's not working. Now, hang on. Pulverizer. You may have to actually craft these now. Well, let's look at doing the other upgrade real quick. What's the other one? The other one is just taking hardened glass. So hardened glass is pretty easy to make. It's some lead dust and some obsidian dust. We can get both of those fairly easily. In fact, I've got some obsidian dust from crushing obsidian in the past. So do we have any obsidian dust on hand is the question. I should. But that's very odd that you're no longer able to craft the resonance. I wonder if that was a recipe change. I'll give credit. It should have been a recipe change a long time ago. So let's grab this out for just a second. Use. Usually if you can't craft it anymore, they take the recipe out of the game. So let me do a quick check. Expert mode. Resin. How do I spell it? I'm terrible at spelling this stuff. There we go. Resonant pulverizer recipe. Checking now. So apparently they've made it, so used to you could do it this way. Apparently they have changed it to where now you have to go through each step of the upgrade process, which is cool. I'm good with that. That probably needed to happen a long time ago. So let's try that right quick. Let's throw this signalum ingot in here. And we'll put this portable tank. I don't know why I just pulled both those portable tanks off. Let's grab this transfer node right here, and we'll put a gear under here. Okay, and at the same time, let's go ahead and get another Electrum gear board so we can upgrade the Hardened machine as well. I'm going to try, apparently there's a console command we can try here. We're going to try this right quick while we're waiting on these gears to smelt up. Okay, so Mindtweaker has been reloaded. Okay, so let's see. Yes, yes. Resonant. Okay. Used. Okay, so a basic machine frame, it shows that it can be used to this. So apparently... So I'm getting different results being said on the various Feed the Beast forums as to why this doesn't work. We're going to go ahead and try it this way though. Alright, so we got a wrench. Let's pour that down into there. And that should give me the signalum. Cool. So, oops, I did not want that. I do not want that to happen. Give me that back. Alright, let's put, let's pull this back off. We got too much items on us as usual. Alright, we're going to stick this on back onto here. And that guy is for Enderium. So here's my Enderium bucket. That can go right there. That's set back up. Okay, we need the pattern. Put that there. I don't know what happened. Did I not put the Electrum in? No, I didn't. I'm still holding it. Alright, we'll come back and get that in a second. So, while we're waiting on that, let's get some obsidian right quick. So, there's some obsidian. So, we can use obsidian to get crushed obsidian. There's a lot of different ways. Macerator will give you one. Compressor will give you tiny piles. You can do it with tiny piles. There's also this version, which the recipe is pulverizing obsidian into 4 of them. So that's probably the best way to get it, is to simply pulverize it. So let's stick this on here. And by the way, when I unhooked that pulverizer, it literally unhooked pretty much every other machine that I have because they were all hooked in through this wire. So pay attention, because I wasn't, when you do that. As if you have a power... why can I not attach this wire here? Oh, wrong. Winning, JD. You're winning. Gotta pay attention, guys. I'm bad about it. So let's bring this over to here. Okay. There we go. Alright. So what I want to do is I want to put this in place of this. We're going to let that break down. And we're going to pull that out. Alright. And then after that's done, we want to throw this lead in there for a minute. So I don't think I already have any lead dust, but I might. Yeah, I do. Right here. Beautiful. Okay, so if we take this lead dust and hook our induction smelter back up for a minute, we can throw the lead and the obsidian in there together. And we're probably going to need more obsidian, to be honest. Because I think it's 4 per. So let's go grab some more obsidian. Basically, 1 obsidian will give you 1 hardened glass, fused glass, whatever it is. But it's very odd that they finally changed those recipes. I guess it's not really necessarily odd. Oh, it's hard. It gives you 6. Dude, I'm silly. Hold on. Let's look at what this actually ends up giving. Is it 3 per? One? I don't understand. It's 2 per. You're getting 2 per. Okay. That makes sense. Alright, we're getting 2 per. That works. And I should have a signalum gear somewhere. At least I thought I had a signalum gear. Did I not ever get that out? What did I do with it now? Well, there's that. Well, that sucks. Did I lose it? Sigh. I get too erratic, guys. I apologize. I'll have to find that signalum gear in just a second. I've lost it. What's up, Stumpy Nub? Come back over here, and let's see. Now, I need that signalum gear right now, actually. So I'd like to know where it went. I didn't put it in any of these. It's not in here. Did I put it in here by accident? Because it's not showing up when I do my search. So my signalum gear, it appears, just kind of poofed. Unless it went into my miner's pack. There it is. This miner's pack is very bad about just picking up random stuff. Alright, let's go ahead and just throw these in here. So this, and this, and this, and this, and this. So that technically should produce some form of an upgrade. So let's swing around. Let's grab this induction smelter because it's the guy I want to upgrade, right? So induction smelter. So that works. We can go directly to this. Okay. Which I guess I did go to Hardened first. That was the next tier up, so that's cool. I can get behind that. And so let's just make sure that this is not going to go allow me to go direct. And it's not. Okay, so we'll put this in here. We can go to reinforced. Now reinforced, we get an additional slot. We're now up to 5 slots. And the last level should hopefully be Resonant right here. There we go. Resonant. That works. I'm good with that. I'm good with it having to follow the full upgrade process, to be honest. I'm glad they finally fixed that, because before I would go directly to the end and it, you know, there was no challenge in it. So that's actually kind of cool that they finally fixed that. Alright. So with that done, let's run back over here. And let's do this one. Now this one's a little different because it requires Invar. So I need to make sure I have some Invar on hand. I don't have another Signalum nugget right now. So let's get 4 Invar. There's 1, 2, 3. Come on now, give me that last one. 4. Beautiful. Let's run back out here, and I'm starving, so I need to find some food. Alright, so pop these in here. And this is your first upgrade. We'll go ahead and use our pulverizer. I grabbed it, right? Or did it go inside the machine thing? Freaking hoppers, man. They rob me constantly. Alright, so there's that one. So we've got the final upgrade for this ready to go. We just need to get another Signalum nugget made. We're not going to mess with that at the moment, though. We're just going to set this back in here. Because technically now, this one is high enough level to use this. This will work inside of a... No, this requires a reinforced machine now. So this will not work at all. The only one that will work is that one right there on the pulverizer. But both of these will work inside of the induction smelter, which is really the machine I care the most about. It's where I'm going to be smelting down a majority of my ore, just to be honest. So let's get these hooked back up. And because that's kind of permanently hooked up now, I'm going to power through it instead. So what does that mean? Well, I've got all this gold, and I've got all these other ores that I need to smelt down. If you remember, this thing is just loaded with ore. And if we look at what can be produced with each ore, if we go to induction smelter here, we can produce rich slag with this with gold ore. And that's pretty important. This only has a 20% chance of occurring. This has a 75% chance if I'm using cinnabar. And you get a 60% chance if we use pyrotheum, you know, yada, yada, yada. But if you remember, we also made these diamond chipsets. So taking the diamond chipsets, we had a bunch of rock wool made. Now, what did I do with that rock wool? Did I get it out of here? There we go, rock wool. All right, let's get that rock wool. Let's put this rock wool in here. Diamond chipsets in there, and let's put pyrotheum in there. So this is going to give me my final upgrade for secondary outputs. And with this one in place, we can actually put back in one of the this guy. We can do additional upgrades to this later if we want, like speeding up the process. But at this point, this guy gets an 81% bonus chance on any secondary outputs, which means it's probably going to get secondary outputs most of the time. So I don't have to spend as expensive on smelting gold in there anymore. For example, I don't need to necessarily do cinnabar. I get almost a double chance just from using sand. And same thing, if I'm using rich slag, you know, this is just for getting more gold ingots. I don't really care about just getting the golden ingots. I actually care about producing the rich slag. The rich slag is used in the production, if you remember, of shiny ingots. I think I passed it. Let's go back. Not there. Rich slag and nickel. Or was it cinnabar? I can't remember. There's a reason I want rich slag. But yeah, I don't remember what it is. Oh yeah, it increases the ore yield from nether ores. So for now, I'm just going to throw these in here with sand. We're going to set this up there, pull this sand out, and that's going to be nice because I'm going to be able to start smelting down my gold in here. I'm still going to get double, you know, my gold per ore, but I'm going to still start hopefully producing much more rich slag in quantity. So, awesome possum there. Let me have that back. Let's go ahead and pull this back in and get all of our stacks of compressed sand back. Alright, so we're done talking about upgrading thermal expansion machines. The next thing that I want to get into is I want to start Ender IO. That's the next mod I want to move into. It's kind of my next step in the tech tree, and it's got a lot of stuff to get, you know, that really opens the game up and helps us quite a bit. So the first thing that I want to do with Ender IO is I want to knock out a SAG Mill. Now, I've got some of this stuff already pre-set up and ready to go right over here, as usual. We've been making these... Let's grab these redstone chipsets. We've been making these basic capacitors already. So these guys right here. This is a basic capacitor. A big part of Ender IO is creating these machine chassis, which require the same machine frame that we were making with the assembly table before when we were creating thermal expansion machines. The difference is now you're going to take a single machine frame from thermal expansion, add in some capacitors, add in some iron bars, and add in some aluminum ingots, which is another alloy, and you'll get a chassis. So if we take one of these chassis and we throw it in here with this recipe, we're going to get back our first Ender IO machine, which is the SAG Mill. So some crushed obsidian, pistons, pretty common stuff. The SAG Mill, much like the pulverizer, is a grinding machine. The only difference is that it gives bonuses to a different series of metals in how it produces things, and the grinder actually has an additional slot right here, kind of like the upgrades on thermal expansion, where you can stick in things like flint. And if we stick that flint in there, so let's stick this up here, and let's look at gold ore real quick. And we go to the SAG Mill tab. So a SAG Mill will produce pulverized gold, and it has a 20% chance of producing copper. But you notice this thing is alternating two things. Well, flint will give us a 120% higher chance of the main output, 125% chance bonus to the bonus output, and a 15% reduction in the power cost. That's awesome. Anything that reduces power cost is fantastic. These dark steel balls greatly improve that. But we've got to be able to make dark steel first, and we're not quite there yet. So for now, we're just going to throw some flint in there. And what would be the best thing to put in here? Well, one of the best things to me to put in here is going to be iron. And the reason for that is if we go through and look at the SAG Mill for iron, I picked the wrong one. Come on now. We will get back tin and ferrous. So iron is a very nice thing to run through your SAG mill rather than through your pulverizer. And so I don't have any power hooked up to this yet. I'll be putting it into the whole system here soon when I reorganize this. But now we've got our SAG mill. That's going to help us out massively. The next item that I want to make is the alloy smelter. And the alloy smelter requires a little bit more work than the SAG mill. The alloy smelter actually requires an IC2 component called the induction furnace and electric furnaces. Now the induction furnace itself also depends on the electric furnace. So let's look at the electric furnace first. An electric furnace, right here, requires 2 redstone and an electric circuit. Now electronic circuits, we've made them before, but I'm going to show you something new that I've done. I've gone ahead and I've made one of these work tables. A work table is simply a crafting table and a book and a chest. And the input result is one of these work tables. The beautiful thing about a work table is it has its own internal inventory. And when you put a recipe in here, you can save it. So I needed to make an electronic circuit. Well, we know that it takes an iron plate and 2 redstone and then 6 of these insulated coppers. Well, how do we make the insulated coppers? That's just rubber and cables. But if you look, I can save and lock recipes over here to quickly just throw the items in, click on the recipe, and pump the items out. So these things are super nice for that. I really like them, and I'm finally back to the point where I'm going to start using them. So I've already made everything to get our first couple of... I didn't make enough of the circuits. I'm sorry, I lied. So we need 2 more of these. So let's pull those out, and let's come back over here. So I've already got everything set up to make this electric furnace. But if you notice, this is not a standard furnace. This is an iron furnace. To get an iron furnace, you take a standard furnace and put 5 iron plates around it. So let's get a couple of more of those. Pop them in there. Let's pull out 3 of these. So those are all made up now. Let's bring them back over here. We're going to pull the pulverizers out. We're going to put them in here. Actually, we're not going to put them in there. You'll see what we're going to do in just a second. So the alloy smelter is going to take 2 of those. Cool, no problem. We also know it's going to take a chassis. So let's grab a chassis. Let's put those 2 in. Let's set this down. Now this guy, this final electric furnace, it's kind of the key ingredient to creating this. And to make this, we're going to need copper around that. Okay, we got some copper. At least I think we've got some copper. We may be out of copper, honestly. I may need to go work on smelting some of that up right quick, in fact. So let's see. Copper ore. Let's grab some out. What's the best place to smelt copper ore? In a SAG mill, it's going to give us a chance at getting gold. I skipped the induction smelter on accident. Or it may not be showing the recipe for the induction smelter. I know we can put it in there. And I think it will also produce... Yeah, it will. For the time being, I'm just going to pulverize it because I'm in a hurry. And I need to get some of this stuff out. And I believe I hooked the pulverizer back up to power. Yes, I did. Let's move the SAG mill to a better location. Let's put the SAG mill... Do I have a hammer on me? I do. Rather than running wires to the SAG mill, we're going to hook it right up against the capacitors for the moment. Now, this still has its output device in it. I did not mean to click that. I'm going to steal this. I'm going to put this in here. Now, the awesome thing about Ender IO, one of the reasons I love these so much is because of your ability to configure these sides. You can set any side as an input, an output, both, nothing, whatever you want. Makes these machines super easy to set up in concert to create better item chains than even the RF machines. I mean the thermal expansion machines. So with that going, I'm gonna have to wait on getting some copper done, but there's other pieces of the machine that need to be done still. So we're waiting to get the copper. We need to make this advanced machine casing. To get this, we need a basic machine casing, and to get this, we're gonna need some iron plates around a chipset, an iron chipset. Okay, well I don't think I have any of these made, but it's just some iron and redstone, so no big deal. We should have some iron in this box right here. So let's run over here. Dun, 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 dun. Throw one in there. I should have some redstone laying. Oh, wait, I do have some iron chipsets. I'm just dumb. If you notice, I'm using my ender chest right there so I can grab things out of there very quickly if I need to. Alright, so we do have an iron chipset. So now we just need some iron plates. Do I have iron plates? I got 3. I need 8. So hopefully we got some iron, you know, getting blowed up right quick. If not, we probably should get on that too, huh? So There's nothing in there. Let's swap these. Iron, right there, some iron. Alright, now the only bad thing about using these machines to do this is that they're only producing dust. They're not actually producing ready-to-use ingots and stuff. But we're going to get that changed out later. For the time being, we're just going to take this, throw it in here. And if you look, I'm also running out of power here. Well, let's stick one of these in there. Does that work? Nope, can't use those. Good to know. Okay, well, we got other fuel sources. What do we got? Right there. Charcoal. My favorite dish. Let's throw our charcoal in there. And if you remember, this guy's running a fuel efficiency upgrade on him. So he doesn't burn up my fuel anywhere near as fast anymore. So that's nice. So there's our copper. Let's take our copper back over here. And this guy wants this around this electric furnace. Okay, so we have that electric furnace. Where do we put it? In here? Yeah. And now we need to get that other block made. And that will completely make the induction smelter. The other pieces for this block are some steel plates, refined iron plates, some advanced alloys, and some carbon plates. Now the carbon plates I've already made. They're pretty easy. You just take some coal powder or pulverized coal, whatever, in a stack of 4, you get a raw carbon fiber. Combine those 2 raw carbon fibers together and you get a raw carbon mesh. Take the raw carbon mesh and put it into a compressor and you will get a carbon plate. And we're going to need 2 of those. I've already got those made. They're sitting right over here. Or I had them made. I don't know what I did with them. They're right here. Sorry. So a raw carbon plate sitting right here. The other piece that we need is going to involve these 3 bronze plates, 3 iron plates, and 3 tin plates. And this is to make what is called a mixed metal ingot. So we run our iron across the top, our bronze across the middle, our tin across the bottom, and we get 2 of these mixed metal ingots. If we take them and put them into, I believe, the compressor, it should make the plate that we're looking for right here. We're going to get 2 of these advanced alloys. So let's grab these 4 refined iron plates. There's 1 of these. Let's go see how we're doing on iron over here, because we're going to need to throw some of this. Oh, come on now. Stop that silliness. Why did you stop, machine? I'm very confused. He's no longer grinding iron. Oh, I know what happened. By the way, right now there is 1 grinding, not including these 60. What happened was it had a chance to produce all of the outputs and there wasn't enough space to produce them all. We got 10 ferrous and out of that 1 single iron. So, makes sense. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. And actually, I think I have some iron. Yeah, we do right there. Cool. Let's make some iron plates. And we're just going to leave the rest of the iron sitting in here for the time being. Alright, how are we doing? Get that done? There's the other plate. Alright, cool. We're going to run back over here. And I'm actually going to make this machine casing inside of this because I'm going to need more than 1 of these. I'm going to be needing these, down the road. So let's put those in there. Drop the 2 plates in. Put these in here. Drop those in. These go in the corners. Beautiful. Now, I still got 10 iron plates right there, and I should have that iron chipset on me, I thought. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, let's reset that real quick. Let's put this in here and go around here. And that gives me the basic machine casing. So, let's save that recipe. So, with the basic machine casing, this is for IC2. That's good. And then we take that, and this gives us the advanced machine casing. So basically this is more or less an IC2 subcomponent, production table where we can just come over here, throw the ingredients in at the base level and build up to whatever we need. But we can take this and come back over here now. Put this in the bottom right here, and this gives us our induction furnace. So an electric furnace plus the machine casing, and we get our induction furnace. Pop that in at the top of this. Now we need some crushed obsidian, which should be inside of my rock crusher already. So let's grab that out. There we go. Run back over here. Like a chicken with their head cut off. There we go. Pop these 4 on the corners. and we need a single capacitor. And that gives us our alloy smelter. Now the alloy smelter is amazing. It opens up so much stuff to us that it's not even funny. So where do I want to hook this guy up? Well, for the time being, let's just hook it up right here. Okay. We're going to move all this around, but we're going to start working with it right away. And let's take cable, plug it in right there. There we go. Now that thing is powering up just like anything else. And this thing can smelt all kinds of stuff. We'll get into that later. But right now, we're going to knock that off the list. And the next thing we want to work on is the vat. The vat right here takes electrical steel. Now to get electrical steel, you can either make it in an induction smelter using steel and silicon, which silicon's easy to get. You just pulverize sand to get silicon. Silicon, however you want to pronounce it. Or you could put coal powder and iron with silicon into the alloy smelter. So let's get some sand. I've got some. Let's throw it in the, turn back around. Throw it in the pulverizer and make some obsidian. I mean, some silicon. There we go. It's already popping out. Now we should have some iron dust and all that good stuff somewhere. I thought, or did I cook it all? It's very possible I cooked it all. There's niter. There's iron right there. All right, so we're going to take iron, and let's just throw that in there and let it smelt real quick. Now, the beautiful thing about the alloy smelter is it smelts 3 items at a time, which greatly speeds up the process, right? So if we take that, do we have any pulverized coal? That's a good question. Let's throw some coal in here and let it start pulverizing. And while we're at it, let's pull these out because we upgraded this, right? And let's get secondary output turned up. Because why not gain more, of the coal powder when we can? This works from a hardened machine. This needs a reinforce, so that doesn't really do me any good. Let's put it back. Remember, this doesn't work unless you have all 3 tiers. Alright, we got one. Beautiful. We need some more. There's 2. Now, this is just grinding down coal ore, and I'm getting these as a secondary output. I can also grind down the coal directly. So, and you have a chance of getting sulfur when you do that. You can also put these into a SAG mill and get them out this way. And really, that's what I should be doing. I forgot about that. SAG mills, when you do this, have a chance of producing diamonds. So it's actually better to grind down coal in the SAG mill. The SAG mill is just really kind of super nice. It's one of my favorite machines. I'm already running out of space. Let's fix that problem. Or. Let's pump the powders into here for now. Let's pull all this redstone out and we'll turn it into blocks thanks to my manufacturer halo. So that frees up some space inside of the chest. Throw that in there. Okay, let's see how we're doing over here. So we're getting coal dust. That's good. We need one more piece of coal dust. We'll go ahead and take this and throw it in here just to get a few knocked out. There we go. Alright. Coal dust. So we take this and put these back in and put this in there and put some silicon in there. Now we're going to start making this electric steel that we need. The other things that the vat's going to need is a cauldron, a furnace, and some fluid tanks. Fluid tanks are just glass with iron ingots around iron bars. So that's pretty simple to make, actually. We're not going to make use of the vat in this episode. We're just going to get it crafted because it's kind of for the next episode. Now, while all that's going on, actually, we can't really go any further until that finishes. So this is now our bottleneck. Actually, I may have some steel. Let me look. Do I have some steel over here already? Yeah, right here. Electrical steel. Let's go ahead and take that. We'll let that finish up crafting, but we're going to get to work on this stuff. Okay, so we know we're going to need a chassis. So let's grab that. I know I'm going to need some more bars. And I believe that the recipe for the tank was something like this with some glass. Now I got some soul glass right here. It's just a different version of glass. It's chiseled, whatever. I think I have these mixed maybe because I do that all the time. There we go. So that gets me a tank. But I'm short some iron right now, so let's run all the way back over here because I don't keep enough materials on me because I'm silly. Let's see. 3 iron. That should do it. Run back. We also need to grab a cauldron, and I should have a cauldron in one of these boxes. I hope. If not, there. No. Well, what did I do with all my cauldrons? Cauldron. Because I know I did have some. Okay, here's the cauldrons. Boom. All right. So we put the cauldron in. We're going to put these around this, and that's going to give us that. So we got 1 tank, 2 tanks, that. We're going to take the 4 electrical steel. Boom, boom, boom. What was the last piece? Just a regular old furnace. All right, I should have a furnace right over here. This is where I keep all my kind of machinery, so to speak. All right, so this gives me a vat. Now, the vat has a kind of a different purpose. With the vat, you put things in here, and we'll demonstrate it. Why not? Pop the vat in here. And let's make hooch. We all want to get a little drunk off some hooch. So for hooch, you need sugar. And you need some type of vegetable. This gives a 3.5 times modifier. 3 for wheat. 8 for poison potatoes. 4 for potatoes. Yada, yada, yada. Now, we produce some of this stuff in bulk downstairs. So let's go grab some of it. And I'm up to 12 ender lily seeds now, so that's really nice. We're really starting to produce quite a bit of ender pearls, on demand, which is awesome, if you ask me. So we're going to grab a whole bunch of wheat right here. And you can actually use the seeds instead of the wheat if you so choose. But we're going to use wheat because I've got wheat running out my ears. I should have had my manufactory halo on me. You see what happens? That's about to become a lot of toast, actually. Alright, so just from that little patch, we got 36 sugar. I should have wheat or seeds or something. Look, so right here. I've already been storing all my flour in there, but I've got seeds. Do I have anything else? Do I want to take seeds? Where's my watering can? We'll just do the watering can. It'll be plenty fast. And if you're wondering where I got all the snowballs, by the way, for the cryotheum, don't forget, that's what these snowballs produce. When you break these, I've got a store of snowballs right here with 64 snowballs, and I can always harvest this to get more snowballs. Or you could just take a shovel to a mountain and dig the snowballs up, the old-fashioned way. Your choice. Alright, so there's the wheat that we need. Let's grab that wheat up. And let's go make hooch. Chutoy, how's it going, buddy? So flying upstairs, run over to the vat. Now, one thing the vat will need when you're making hooch is you need water put into it. So this is probably not actually a good place to put it. We need somewhere that we can get water into it. All my water right here is kind of, in a way, being consumed. So we're just going to force it into place here. Oh, that's not a good choice. Bad choices were made, guys. How do I want to do this? I don't really need the cyclic assembler in place right now. Let's take it out. Let's put the vat down right there. So now the vat is filling with water, and it's filling with power at the same time, which probably is a good thing. Let's put our wheat in and our sugar in. And it's going to start puffing out little puffs of smoke, and it's going to begin to work. And what happens is these things are mixing in the middle with the water, and then they will transfer over into this output tank. Now, what good does that do us? Well, it does us lots of good. If we come back in here and we grab up one of our unused tanks, like this guy, we can throw it down right here. And by the way, we produced hardened glass earlier, remember? So if you're not familiar, hardened glass is the next upgrade for this to take it to where it holds even more fluids. So right now, this thing is producing hooch. There's hooch right there. We can set it to output from this side, and it's now pumping the hooch out of this tank and into this one. Well, what is hooch for? Hooch is used for a few different things, but what we're going to use it for is to make rocket fuel. So we take hooch, put it back into the vat, mix it with gunpowder and redstone, and we get rocket fuel. You can also use it to make fire water. Now, the main use of the rocket fuel is going to be to make plastic sheets, but there's also a generator that you can get from Ender.io that runs particularly off of rocket fuel as a very high rate of RF return, something like 160 RF per tick. Now the next thing that I want to make is called solarium. And solarium bricks or ingots come from the production of soul sand with gold ingots, either in the induction smelter or in the alloy smelter. Now I've got soul sand somewhere, and I think it's going to be back here with all these nether ores, which I need to smelt all these nether ores down. And I've also got gold somewhere, and the question is, where did I leave the gold? Because I have it. I just keep moving it and hiding it from myself. Because I love gold. So let's take solarium, and let's stick some into lay induction smelter. And those two guys together can start working. And while those two guys are working, we'll pull this stuff right here out. The induction smelter is a little bit weird in that it will only allow you to put things in together in strange and fascinating ways. So gold and soul sand. Start cooking. Maybe. Oh, I gotta take this out. There we go. And what am I holding right here? Cyclic assembler. Let's just put this down over here in the corner for now. And put all of its recipes back inside of it so they're not taking up all my inventory space. And I'm really running over today on time, guys. I'm sorry, but I really want to get these last couple of machines knocked out because they are the next steps in what we're going to be doing. Alright, what we're going to make next is the Slice and Splice. And the Slice and Splice is used to create a lot of really odd things. Let's just put it that way. We're going to need 5 solarium, an iron axe, and some shears to make this, as well as a head. So there's our solarium. And solarium is going to be used to craft some other stuff. That's why I'm, going ahead and cooking up more ingots than I need. So let's run over here. Let's whip out a chassis. Let's put some solarium down here, here, and here. Let's run over here and grab my head. That's what I've been holding it for. This should work unless they've changed the recipe again. For a while, your own head wouldn't work, and then they made it work. It did work again, and then they took it back away. And I think steel shears work in this recipe, but I don't know. So if it doesn't, you can hate me forever. That's life. Deal with it, I guess. 3 of these, and we got some sticks. Okay, chest, crafting table thing, whatever. Boom, iron axe. Run over here. Put the iron axe in there. Okay, so I think it's the steel shears that are not working. Run back over here. 2 iron ingots. Make a set of shears. Boop, boop, boop. Run back. It's probably my head that's not working, honestly. Boop. Alright, my head's not working. Let's try zombie head. Zombie head. No. What did I do wrong? Hold on. Slice and Splice right here. Okay. We have the machine chassis, right? Yep, we got that. Got the solarium. Yep, got that. Shears. Yep, got that. Slowpoke's head. Watchful's head. Well, this makes no sense. This should work. All the heads from head crumbs show to be working. Well, now it's working. What the crap? I guess it's just bugged. Anyways, we can use my head. Slice and Splice. There we go. So I shift clicked the question mark to put the recipe in, and this time the recipe works. So what a Slice and Splice does is, let's set this one down. I don't know. I really don't know if there's a spot for it anymore. We'll set it down here. With a Slice and Splice, if you take a set of shears, so there's shears, and let's get a wooden axe right quick. At least I think wooden axe is still working this. Maybe it was a stone axe that I did last time. Do I have stone on me? I do. Okay. You do not want to use an iron axe in here on expert mode. It will simply break every time you use it. But I believe a stone axe now works in these. That was changed at one point a while back because of people like, yo, I'm not going to replace my iron axe every single time I want to use this machine. So let's get some RF into it. And the Slice and Splice, let's see, Ender IO. There is a soul binder you're going to want to make eventually. But that's not what, I've got to remember the item that comes out of the Slice and Splice. It's been a while, so right here. These Z-Logic controllers are what you're going to primarily be making in here. So a couple of pieces of solarium, a zombie head, and some silicon, and a redstone. Okay, so let's put a redstone in here. We've got a zombie head. We've got some silicone, or silicon, or whatever. Got the lovely, handy-dandy solarium. And what happens is this thing gets consumed, it starts puffing as usual, and you will get back a Z-Logic controller. There are a lot of the different ones. There's a Franken zombie, there's Ender Resonator, all kinds of stuff. And these things get used throughout a large portion of creation of items. So they're used in these advanced item filters, they're used in the crafter, the powered spawner, the farming station, planters, fishers, harvesters, ranchers, and really these Mine Factory Reloaded machines are a lot of the machines that I'm working towards getting into. They're very nice, they're super useful for automation, and having the Slice and Splice on hand, as well as the alloy smelter and the vat, is what kind of leads us to being able to do that now. So that's it. Unfortunately, it's 50 minutes. I tried to keep it shorter. I am trying a different form of voice recording for the episodes now, in which I record the voice separately from the rest of the game because I have been having so much difficulty getting everything set up the way I wanted it. So hopefully this came in better quality for you guys, and I hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving and a good Black Friday for those of you that brave the crowds. I don't take part. Other than that, guys, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next episode. Remember, I stream every time I record a YouTube episode, so feel free to drop by the stream. The links are in my details at the bottom. I'll catch you next time. Be good to one another. Laters.